Hello students, welcome to your online lessons of the Complete High School for 50 students. Before starting the lesson today, I would like you to watch a short video and answer the question. What is it about?
The United States of America is filled with endless diversity. People of all colors, religions, ethnicities, and cultures come together in one giant landmass. And the center of this diversity is the Amish, a group of people who follow a traditional Christian church derived from Swiss Germany. In the US, about 15% of the 300,000 Amish settlers live right here in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. And they are known primarily for three things: simple living, plain dressing, and avoidance of modern technologies.
They don't connect to our electricity. It doesn't mean they can't generate their own with solar or wind power or even a diesel generator for business. They don't drive automobiles. If they have a business that requires a truck or riding lawnmowers, they can certainly lease a truck, but they would have to have a non-Amish to drive the truck.
The Amish migrated to Pennsylvania in the early 18th century and are still living an identical life to centuries ago. They get around by horses. They are prohibited to use smartphones, TVs, and cars. Their language today is a dialect of German called Pennsylvania Deutsch.
It's a dialect from the Swiss German that they brought with them, plus about 300 years of words that got made up and some English words mixed into it.
Higher education is generally discouraged as it could lead to social segregation and the unraveling of the community. And how many kids does a typical family have?
Right now the average is right around 8.5 in Lancaster County. That's the information we were given this spring.
8.5 kids, so that's a lot of money to keep them up. I'm assuming they're mostly farmers?
No, they're mostly not farmers. Only about 30% are in farming. The rest are in trades like home building, roofing contracting, barn building, shop owners.
They have their own schools. They value a rural life, manual labor, and living under God's word. And if they fail to comply, they are shunned.
Now they've got a very high percentage of the kids staying Amish, in that 95 to 100%, it's probably above 95%
Really?
staying Amish.
The Amish are very private people who avoid as much contact with strangers and the outside world as possible for important religious and cultural reasons.
That's the end of the clip. So, do you have the answer? It's about the Amish, who are the members of a strict religious group in North America. The Amish live a simple farming life and reject some forms of modern technology. Today, we continue to learn Unit 7, Cultural Diversity. Lesson 5, Listening, Cultural Diversity. We will listen to a talk about the wedding traditions of the Amish community in the USA. Before listening, I will introduce some new words to you. Do you get your own notebook? If yes, let's start. Do you know which verb in English that means đồng ý tán thành? Yes, it is approve. So, this is the first new word I would like to teach you today. I will show you an example. I wish my mother approved of my friends. In this example, we also have a great structure, which is approve of something or somebody. This means to think that somebody, something is good, acceptable, or suitable. So, what is the noun for approve? It's approval. Next, please look at the sentence. The film festival takes place in October. What does the phrase take place mean? It means to happen, especially after previously being arranged or planned. The Vietnamese meaning is diễn ra, xảy ra. We move on to the next one. Now, look at the picture. Who are they? A couple? Bride and groom? They might be the answer, right? But the word I would like to present to you is newlywed. Its English meaning is a person who has recently got married. What is the Vietnamese meaning? Người mới cưới, người mới kết hôn. Now, what is it? Yes, a roadside. Okay, so we have the following sentence. The number 30 on the roadside signifies that the speed limit is 30 miles an hour. The word I want you to focus on is the verb signify. It means to be a sign of something or to mean. In Vietnamese, it means là dấu hiệu của, hoặc cho biết, hoặc tỏ ý. Okay, we've gone through 4 words and phrases in the first part of the lesson. Now, 3 minutes for you to copy down. Finished? Well done. Now, look at task 1 in the textbook. You are going to listen to talk about the wedding traditions of the Amish community living in Pennsylvania, the USA. Make your own predictions about them by deciding whether the following statements are true or false. What should we do first? Underline the keywords in each statement. Of course. Look at the first statement. What should be focused on? Apparently, we have take place and spring. In the second sentence, there are 2 keywords. What are they? Parents and life partners. Easy work, isn't it? Now, your turn. Which words or phrases we have to pay attention to in the third sentence? We will underline wedding cervix and bride's parents' home. For the sentence number 4, couple, first night, and bride's home should be underlined. The last one, it's important to focus on after marriage. And don't forget to underline man and grow his beard. We have just underlined important words and phrases in each sentence. Now, what you need to do is to predict whether the given statements are true or false. 1 minute for you to predict. I hope you have finished predicting. Now, listen to the talk and check your predictions. Are you ready? Let's start.
Listen to the talk and check your answers.
Today, I will talk about the Amish weddings. Most Pennsylvania Amish weddings take place from late October through December. Traditionally, they are held on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so there is time in between to get ready for and clean up after each. Even so, it can get pretty busy during the wedding season, with some Amish going to 2 or 3 weddings in one day. While parents do not select who their children will marry, approval must be given. The couple planning to marry are announced at a church service. The wedding service itself, held in home of the bride's parents. After the service, the benches are put together to form tables for the wedding meal for about 200 to 300 guests. In the afternoon, the young people enjoy singing, and after that, those who have stayed through the day join the evening meal. After spending the night at the bride's home, the next day, the newlyweds help with the clean-up from the day before. The couple then spends upcoming weekends visiting relatives, sometimes stopping at 5 or 6 houses between a Friday and Sunday night. Wedding gifts are usually given to them at this time. By the next spring, the couple is usually ready to move into a home of their own, and the groom will begin growing his beard. This is an Amish tradition that signifies a man is married.
Have you had the answer yet? It's time to give you the answers. Pay attention, please. Look at the first statement. Is it true or false? The answer is false. So why? As you can see in the audio script, we have the information. Most Pennsylvania Amish weddings take place from late October through December. So, the wedding happened in the winter, not in the spring. This statement has one incorrect information, so it's false. How about the second statement? Parents do not select who their children will marry. Did you get this information? So, the answer is false. We move on to the next sentence. The wedding service itself held in the home of the bride's parents. So, is it true or false? Obviously, it's true. What is the answer for sentence number 4? The answer is true. But why? If you got the information after spending the night at the bride's home, the next day, you might choose the correct answer. How about the last statement? Did you catch any keywords in the audio? The groom will begin growing his beard. So, the answer is 2. If you get on 5 correct answers, good listener. If not, listening again is highly recommended. I will give you another try in the next task. We have finished task 2. Now, look at task 3 in your textbook. Listen to the talk again and complete the missing information, using no more than 3 words. Okay, before doing this task, pay attention to the instruction. Using no more than 3 words, which means you cannot fill in the gaps with 4 words. The maximum is 3 words. How many blanks in this talk? 5, right? As usual, before listening, let's predict which words or phrases could be the answers. In this case, paying attention to the parts of speech of the words or phrases in the blanks is important. Firstly, you should take notice of from late October through, so the blank might be a noun or more specifically, a month like October. We continue with the second blank. The word preceding weddings could be an adjective or a number. One more thing to focus on is that weddings is a plural noun. What might be the answer for the next blank? Do you have any idea? After linking word but, we could have a clause including subject and verb. It's easy to see that we have already verb must be given. So what? The sentence might lack a subject, which could be a noun. How about the next one? It's obvious to fill in this gap with a noun or a noun phrase because of the article the. Moving on to the last blank, we should focus on spends the following weekends. Why? We have spent plus time plus what? There are two options. First, spend plus time plus verb in. Second, spend plus time plus on something. Now, listen to the talk again to do the task.
Listen to the talk again and complete the missing information using no more than 3 words.
Today, I will talk about the Amish weddings. Most Pennsylvania Amish weddings take place from late October through December. Traditionally, they are held on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so there is time in between to get ready for and clean up after each. Even so, it can get pretty busy during the wedding season, with some Amish going to 2 or 3 weddings in one day. While parents do not select who their children will marry, approval must be given. The couple planning to marry are announced at a church service. The wedding service itself, held in home of the bride's parents. After the service, the benches are put together to form tables for the wedding meal for about 200 to 300 guests. In the afternoon, the young people enjoy singing, and after that, those who have stayed through the day join the evening meal. After spending the night at the bride's home, the next day, the newlyweds help with the cleanup from the day before. The couple then spends upcoming weekends visiting relatives, sometimes stopping at 5 or 6 houses between a Friday and Sunday night. Wedding gifts are usually given to them at this time. By the next spring, the couple is usually ready to move into a home of their own, and the groom will begin growing his beard. This is an Amish tradition that signifies a man is married.
Have you finished yet? Let's check the answers. The answer for number 1 is what? December. It matches what we've predicted. How about number 2? As we have guessed, the answer is 2 or 3, which makes weddings a plural noun. Good job if you get this information. How about the next one? Approval is the word we need for this gap. This is a noun. Number 4 is filled in with wedding meal. Pay attention that you have to fill in the gap with 2 words. The answer for the last one is what? Based on what we have predicted, spend time plus verb in, visiting relatives is our answer. I think you have known more about the Amish wedding customs. Now, we will make a short speech. Describe one interesting or unusual thing about the Amish wedding customs. I give you some useful phrases to give opinions in English. Firstly, to my mind is used to emphasize that this is your opinion. Another one, I reckon that, usually to express an opinion about what is likely to happen. To be honest with you, in the next one, to express a critical opinion without seeming rude. As far as I'm concerned, to express an opinion that may be different from others. This is a model example that can help you shape what you are going to describe. In my opinion, the most interesting thing in the Amish wedding is spending the night at the bride's home, because in Eastern countries, most brides often have to stay at their husbands' houses on the first wedding night. I reckon this will help the Amish bride not feel homesick and lonely when getting married. Now, you will have 3 minutes to make your own speech. This is the end of our lesson. Today, we have listened for key information about the wedding traditions of the Amish community in the USA. What should you do at home? Learning vocabulary is needed. Listening to the audio again is recommended. Do task 4. Prepare and practice the short speech. And don't forget to prepare for the next lesson. Thank you for your attention today. See you next time.